Narrator VO. In American political television, debates aren't just conversations. They are battlegrounds. Words become weapons, expressions become signals, and every second can shift the energy of the room. But on this particular night, something happened that no one on that panel expected. Jessica Tarlov, known for her sharp analysis and calm demeanor, challenged Kennedy with a bold, almost confrontational demand. "If you're so confident, prove your IQ." Just 37 seconds later, she froze. Tonight, we take you inside that moment. The tension, the silence, and the unbelievable twist that left viewers stunned. Narrator VO. The discussion began innocently enough, a heated exchange about policy decisions, public trust, and the declining confidence in political leadership. The panel included strategists, analysts, and outspoken commentators. At the center of it all sat two very different personalities. Jessica Tarlov, analytical, structured, and usually composed. Kennedy, witty, unpredictable, sharp, and unbothered. But the debate escalated faster than anyone expected. Dialogue. Kennedy, leaning forward, smirking. "Jessica, you keep questioning everyone's logic. Let's question yours. Do you even hear what you're saying?" Jessica, frustrated. "Yes, I hear myself perfectly. The problem is you think mocking people is an argument." Kennedy, "Maybe it's just hard for you to keep up." Narrator VO. That one line, delivered casually, with a sarcastic grin, pushed Jessica past her limit. The room tensed. Cameras tightened. Viewers leaned in. Jessica lifted her chin, eyes sharp. "Jessica, if you're so sure of your intelligence, prove your IQ." Narrator VO. The studio went silent. Even the host raised an eyebrow. A challenge like that doesn't usually happen on live television. Not between colleagues. Not in the middle of a policy debate. But Kennedy didn't flinch. He smiled. Narrator VO. Kennedy reached into his pocket. Calm, slow, deliberate, as if he knew this moment was coming. Jessica's expression shifted. The panel froze. The audience held its breath. What was he doing? Kennedy placed a small folded paper on the desk. Jessica blinked. Jessica, confused. "What is that?" Kennedy, "You wanted me to prove my IQ. I brought the results." Narrator VO. Jessica wasn't ready for that. No one was. She expected sarcasm. She expected a joke. She expected him to deflect. But instead, he produced something real. The host tried to regain control. "Host, Kennedy, are you serious? You actually brought." Kennedy, "I knew someone on this panel would eventually question my intelligence. So I came prepared." Narrator VO. Jessica shifted in her chair. Her confidence, the same confidence from moments earlier, began to waver. The cameras zoomed closer. Her eyes narrowed, then widened. Her lips parted just slightly, the first sign of internal panic. Jessica had expected a punchline. She wasn't prepared for evidence. Narrator VO. The paper sat between them like a grenade. Kennedy tapped it lightly. "Kennedy, you said prove it. So here it is. Verified. Certified. Official." Jessica swallowed hard. "Jessica, you actually took an IQ test?" Kennedy, "No. I took 3. Narrator VO. The studio burst into whispers. The host's eyes darted off camera. Producers began waving behind the scenes. Jessica's face turned still, not angry, not embarrassed, just frozen. The kind of freeze that happens when the mind races faster than the mouth can follow. Jessica, soft voice. Why would you bring something like that?" Kennedy, "Because I'm tired of this narrative that disagreement equals stupidity." Narrator VO. He wasn't joking. He wasn't mocking. He wasn't attacking. He was being sincere, and that sincerity is what shocked Jessica the most. The panel watched silently. Kennedy unfolded the paper slowly. The microphone picked up every crease, every movement. Kennedy, "If IQ is the metric you trust, this should settle it." Narrator VO. Jessica's eyes fixed on the number, a number the camera never revealed to the audience. But her reaction told the whole story. She froze, completely still, not blinking, not moving, not speaking. The silence lasted long enough to make everyone uncomfortable. And in television, silence is louder than shouting. Narrator VO. When the commercial break finally came, the tension didn't fade. Jessica leaned toward the host. Jessica, whispering off mic. "I didn't think he'd do that." Host. "Nobody thought he would." Kennedy sat back in his chair, unfazed. Kennedy, quiet, calm. "I don't mind disagreement. I mind disrespect." Narrator VO. Jessica looked away, thinking. The hostility had melted away. In its place was something unfamiliar, humility. For the next segment, she avoided eye contact. Her rebuttals were softer, more measured. Viewers noticed. Clips of the freeze moment exploded across social media. Comments flooded in. She challenged the wrong guy tonight. This is the most awkward moment in cable news this year. Kennedy came armed with receipts. The look on her face says everything. Narrator VO. But behind the viral drama, there was something deeper, a reminder that debates are not IQ contests, and intelligence takes many forms. When the show ended, something surprising happened. Jessica approached Kennedy. Jessica, look, I shouldn't have said that. I crossed a line. Kennedy nodded. Kennedy, we all get heated. But I'm glad you said something. It needed to be addressed. Narrator VO. It wasn't a victory or defeat. It was a moment of unexpected respect. Jessica extended her hand. Jessica, truce. Kennedy smiled. Kennedy, truce. Truce. Kennedy smiled. Kennedy, truce. The cameras didn't capture that part, but those who witnessed it said it was the most honest moment of the night. Narrator VO. In an age where every disagreement is magnified, every insult becomes ammunition, and every debate turns into a battlefield, this moment stood out. A challenge, a reveal, a reaction that spoke louder than any argument. Jessica Tarlov told Kennedy to prove his IQ, and when he did, she froze, not because she lost, but because she realized something powerful. Sometimes the person you underestimate is the person who surprises you the most. And in those 37 seconds, the entire conversation changed.